Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Why, thank you, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans in 1977, episode 2198. A friendly reminder on the "I Am What I Am" video that is not part of my Shenanigans show will be privatized by next week. You know, I'm going to give everybody a week to check out the video. And I know it's 37 minutes long, but I need to get a lot of stuff off my chest about a lot of things that have been happening and how I feel. And that way, you know, it won't affect part of the show. So, just giving you guys a week to look at it. And, you know, if you feel commenting, that's fine. But, again, disrespectful comments, they gotta go. They gotta go. You know, I'm sorry, but I have a choice, too, in this country. So please, please try to refrain from being disrespectful and all that, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. Also, before we get going on AEW Dynamite as well, I mentioned this on the last episode during the Evolve Event Center that former NFL Super Bowl champion, NFL player, Steve Mongo McMichael, who took part in the as a lumberjack cornerman for the Lawrence Taylor Bam Bam matchup at WrestleMania 11, also became part of WCW as a commentator at first, and then and as a wrestler in which he won the United States Heavyweight title as a member of the Four Horsemen with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Chris Benoit. His then wife Deborah was accompanying him to ringside until she sided with Jack Jarrett, and that's where we stand right now. Actually, Steve Mongo McMichael, surrounded by family and friends and relatives that he loves, passed away at the age of 67 after a lengthy battle with ALS. And so, my condolences and prayers go out to the family and relatives and friends and fans of Steve Mongo McMichael. A Four Horseman salute in your honor, and a Shenanigans salute right there. So, rest in peace, Mongo McMichael. Steve Mongo McMichael was also a former player for the Chicago Bears, which he won the Super Bowl in '85 with by defeating the New England Patriots, and then he went on to become a member of the Green Bay Packers before he retired and before he got into wrestling. And then he came down with LAS and ended up passing away earlier this afternoon. May Steve Mongo McMichael rest in peace. So, shall we get into some AEW All Elite Wrestling? And Tony Schiavone brought in and introduced Master P, a rapping legend. Now, when was the last time Master P was in a wrestling ring? You're going to have to date back to, I believe, WCW 1999 or early 2000, as he brought himself and the No Limit Soldiers. They did a lot of brawls and battles in WCW, so to speak. As Master P decided to introduce the new World Trios champions, the Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Katsuyori Shibata. They all come in the ring, showed Master P some love and respect, you know, and one encouraged the college team of the high school team, because he now is a coach, helping out that. But then the Death Riders, who are obviously not in a very good mood, all came out and attacked the Trios champs. But they fought back until the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada got involved. But then as the Ops were fighting, then Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega come out. Then you got, you know, the Ops decided to fight back against the Death Riders that they were trying to threaten up on Master P, and they ended up getting chased out of the ring. So the Ops, Kenny Omega, and Swerve Strickland stood tall. Samoa Joe acknowledged Swerve Strickland and decided that he vows to become AEW World Champion, beating the heck out of Moxley. So there's that. Then Renee Paquette interviewed the Patriarchy, and the little tension between Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. Christian Cage once again tried to steal the spotlight and steal Nick Wayne's title, saying it was because of me, it's happened to you. And then Nick Wayne said a few things, and he had a point, and then Christian Cage looked at the title and put it on the shoulder and says, "Congrats, champ." Once again. If I was part, I don't believe, I would not be part of the Patriarchy. I would not join up with Christian Cage and say, if all you do is because I win the title that you decide to hold the title for yourself, I would have bat you in the brains bring you with the title before I even allow it. So no, thank you. I won't join the Patriarchy. I don't like Christian Cage. He's a doofus. Okay, he's a doofus. Anyways, Mark Briscoe went one-on-one with Ricochet, and Mark Briscoe ended up winning the matchup. Being a sore loser that he is, Ricochet attacked Mark Briscoe after the match, but Kevin Knight helps out Briscoe. Then in attendance, the legendary Rock and Roll Express were there, and Tony Schiavone was about to introduce FTR. To interview them, and Stokely Hathaway interrupts them, introduces FTR, and then made the announcement that Stokely Hathaway will be the agent for FTR. And then FTR explains their actions of why, and and Stokely Hathaway thinks that they shouldn't be punished for their actions. You don't put your hands on the commentator there, Stokely Hathaway. I can't believe he's back. The love child of Kevin Hart and Charles Barkley is back. Anyways, and as they were explaining their actions and berating Daniel Garcia in 2.0, here comes and then they decided to call out the Rock and Roll Express, and then they asked Rock and Roll Express some dumb questions, and it got to the point where Dax Hall was playing around the microphone and with the mic, and Kevin, Ricky Morton had enough of Dax Howard's shenanigans and decided to, try to verbally put, oh man, my brain is getting tired. Dax Howard in his place. But then both FTR attacked both members of the my brain is not working well today. Both members of the Rock and Roll Express, and then they turned their attention. Actually, no, they didn't. Man, I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry, folks. Death Riders were all over Master P beforehand, and to get back to that until the Ops fight back. Master P says something to put him to sleep, and that's what happened. But let's go back. Let's go fast forward to the FTR. Attacking the Rock and Roll Express, the Paragon, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong shown up and chases FTR out of the ring. Meanwhile, the high-flying, karate-kicking, lightning-speed team of the Jet Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey took on the Young Bucks, Beavis and Butthead, a.k.a. Nick and Mac Jackson, a.k.a. Beavis and Butthead. Now, I have to admit, even though I don't like the Young Bucks, they can put on a pretty good matchup. But I'm not Dave Meltzer. I'm not that Dingleberry Dave Meltzer. When I saw John Cena's face when he did the scowl, I said, he looks like freaking Dave Meltzer. Yeah, I'm roasting John Cena. John Cena is nothing but a dude wipe. And Dave Meltzer is a Dingleberry dork. I don't know why, AEW was just built just to satisfy Dave Meltzer. That's what it is. To suck up the Dave Meltzer and all that. Dave Meltzer is a dork. He's not a wrestling fan. Plain and simple. Because all he does is criticize matches. Either you're a wrestling fan or you're going to be a wrestling critic. And by the way, Dingle Butt, dingleberry Dave Meltzer. You're not Ed McMahon. This is not Star Search. So quit. It's professional wrestling. Quit it with the 5-star, 4-star, 3-star rankings. This is not Star Search. This is not school where you put a gold star on the student's name. This is professional wrestling. We're not here to rate matches. I'm sorry, but this is a joke. I mean, this Dave Meltzer's a joke. I'm sorry. It's sad. You know, Dave Meltzer, it ruined professional wrestling, in my personal opinion, and I refuse to listen to the IWC anymore. That's all there is to it. Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey went up against the Young Sucks, or the Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks ended up winning the matchup. And because Ricochet, that bald-headed, big-eared goof with a goofy smile, decided to get involved during the matchup. But then Renee Paquette interviewed Timeless Toni Storm, the 4-time AEW Women's World Champion. I love Toni Storm. And she decided to issue an open challenge for an eliminator matchup at Collision Playoff Palooza. It will take place after the NBA coverage. And Queen Aminata stepped up and says, I'd like to give it a shot. Let's do this. And then Toni Storm goes, no, let's make cinema. I love Toni Storm. I love Timeless Toni Storm. And I bet you 2-1. If you know the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, when Marilyn Monroe comes down in that pink dress, the same pink dress that inspired Madonna to do Material Girl on, I bet you 2-1 Toni Storm can pull that pink dress look off. And I think she can too. She would look hot in it, in my personal opinion. Anyways, the Hurt Syndicate comes out to dress the New Orleans Clown, and then that other Beavis-looking butthead. That clown. You know what's the problem with AEW? They have too many clowns in that circus, that's for sure. But there's some people I like. Toni Storm's not a clown, but she makes people laugh, and I love that. I love Harley Cameron, too. She's not a clown, but she makes me laugh, too. I mean, seriously. Stokely Hathaway looks like a clown. You put one of those funny-looking hats on him, put the big clown shoes, there's your clown. Stokely Hathaway is a clown. Yep. Looking like the love child of Charles Barkley and Hornswoggle, Why does he look like him? He looked like the love child Kevin Hart and Charles Barkley. That's Stokely Hathaway. So, what a dope. Anyways, the Hurt Syndicate comes out, addressing the New Orleans crowd. And then MJF pulls up in a freaking limo. Not limo, Lamborghini. You gotta be kidding me. MJF comes out and he gets the thumbs up to Shelton Benjamin. I did the thumbs up because this man is for this man. And then before you know that car out there that I drove in, it's yours if you want it. And MJF, what a dork. And the funny part is, they go out in the car. They go out to see the car. He goes, I want to see the car. Okay. And then they say, check out the car. It's yours. We give you the thumbs up. So he hops in the car, turns the keys, and he goes like that. And they took off. Him and Shelton Benjamin took off in the car. I was like, oh, they made a sucker out of MJF. And I love it. They made a sucker out of MJF, man. I cracked up laughing. I thought that was funny. MJF, a little leech. Anyways, Renee Paquette interviewed Hangman Adam Page, and what is MJF going to learn? MJF's like the neighborhood cat. You don't want to get rid of it. Anyways, MJF comes out, that Beavis-looking button, and started provoking Hangman Adam Page. Is MJF nuts? I mean, I think that Burberry Scott made him probably cut off the oxygen flow from his brain, because that was a really stupid move to provoke an angry Adam Page before the match. Brody King and Will Ospreay took on Josh Alexander, the newest member of the Don Callis family, and Konosuke Takeshita. And Don Callis once again joins on commentary. Old Hot Dog Head was talking about singing the praises of his family members. And then Lance Archer gets involved during the matchup. Post-match brawl between the four men. Kyle Fletcher shows up to attack Ospreay. Hangman Adam Page goes after Fletcher. And Roppongi Vice did attack Page, but that didn't stop him. Roppongi Vice, a couple of dumb idiots too. You know. Then the women's Owen Hart semifinal, as Chris Statlander against Jamie Hayter, and Jamie Hayter ended up winning the matchup, and then Mercedes Moné comes out to confront Hayter and some of the former competitors in that square circle, sending a message. Roxanne Perez probably in the last ditch effort. So it'll be Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné in the tournament final. Mercedes Moné, confident she's going to win that cup. So we'll see how that goes. Well, that is it for today's episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 2198. Tomorrow we get the final Pressure Luck gameplay of April 2025, because as you know, next week will be May. It's going to be May. And we got Rant and Rave and TNA. So check us out there. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.